Hey, English learners, welcome back to the All in English podcast, your go to place to learn real English through honest conversations and grow as a person at the same time. I'm Emma.
And I'm Andrew. Very happy to be here, slightly anxious, but happy.
Those two things together are very you.
They really are. And you, friend, how are you feeling right now? Just finish this sentence in your head in English. Right now, I feel blank. One word, that's already practice. Before we start, honest game. Think about the last time you posted something online. How long before you checked for reactions? But here's the rule. You cannot say, I don't check, and you cannot say, I don't care. Those two answers are blocked.
You always block the comfortable answers.
Because the comfortable answers aren't honest. So, how long? 2 minutes? 10 seconds? Did the phone come back before you even put it down?
I will be honest. I have checked before the screen turned off.
Same. And here's what's interesting. Nothing had happened yet. No reaction, no comment. But the waiting already felt like something.
Like a small weight in your chest, and that weight, that pull, exists the moment you imagine what someone else might think. And that is exactly why today we want to talk about the fear of being judged. Today we ask one big question. Why do we care so much what people think? And why does that fear follow us into our decisions, our words, and even our English?
We want to give you two things today. Real B2 English to talk about fear and self-worth naturally, and a message. This fear doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're human. But there's a point where it costs you more than it gives you.
And before we start, you don't have to have this figured out. Neither do we. This is a B2 episode, so the English is richer and more natural, but we'll speak clearly, and when a new word appears, one of us will explain it simply. You don't have to catch everything. And if something moves fast, listen again later. That second listen is magic.
One small favor before we go deeper. If you enjoy learning with us, please like this episode, subscribe, and share it with one person who spent 15 minutes choosing what to wear this morning because of what their colleagues might think.
Every like and comment helps more learners find us. And here's our question for you today. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much does the fear of judgment affect your daily life? And where do you feel it most? For example, 8 out of 10. I feel it most when I speak English at work. Even one sentence in the comments is enough. Let's start with a picture. You walk into a room full of people, and the moment you step through the door, something turns on inside you, like a little camera, watching yourself from the outside.
How do I look? What is my face doing? Is my laugh too loud?
And you haven't said hello to anyone yet. You're still in the doorway. That camera, always on, always reviewing the footage, always asking, what do they think of me right now? That's where we start today.
I have a story about this. A few months ago, I was at a coffee shop. I ordered something, didn't hear the person correctly, needed to ask them to repeat it. Completely normal thing.
Very normal.
I didn't ask. I nodded, walked away with the wrong coffee, sat down, and drank the whole thing in silence to protect my image with someone I will never see again.
And almost everyone listening just recognized themselves. Not the coffee, but that exact calculation. Is asking worth the risk of looking confused? And the answer the brain gives is always, probably not. Just accept it.
Maybe right now you can think of one moment like that from your own week. One small thing you didn't say because the camera was on. You don't need to share it. Just notice it.
So why does the brain do this? Because it makes sense, it's just very old. This fear is connected to social approval, the need to be accepted and seen positively by the people around you. And for most of human history, being rejected by the group wasn't uncomfortable, it was dangerous.
So the brain built a system. Watch how you appear. Stay in the group. And that system is still running today, even when the group is a comment section.
The fear is doing its job. The problem is when it becomes disproportionate, meaning the reaction is much bigger than the situation actually needs. Like calling the fire department for a birthday candle. And that's when self-censorship starts.
self-censorship, when you silence yourself not because someone told you to, but because you already imagined the reaction and decided staying quiet was safer. You become your own editor before you even open your mouth.
And it feels like wisdom, like reading the room. But sometimes it's just fear wearing a sensible coat.
Very accurate.
And social media made all of this worse. Now the camera isn't just in your head, it's in your pocket with a comment section. There's something called the spotlight effect. We believe other people are paying much more attention to us than they actually are. But everyone has their own camera running. The audience you're performing for is mostly imaginary.
Mostly. Real judgment exists, but the version we fear is almost always bigger and harsher than reality.
And then there's validation seeking, looking outside yourself for confirmation that you're okay, that your choices make sense. The issue is when you need it before you can move, because then other people are quietly driving your life and they don't even know it.
Okay, I want to push back a little. Is caring what people think always bad? Because I think there's a useful version of this.
100%. Someone who genuinely doesn't care about anyone's reaction can be very hard to be around.
Right. Empathy is caring how you land on people, so caring isn't the enemy.
The line is this: care about the right people in the right amount, not the whole room, not strangers. When you stop performing for everyone and start being honest with the people who actually matter, everything gets quieter.
So basically, you're just shrinking the audience.
You're not silencing the fear. You're changing who it answers to.
I like that a lot.
When the opinion you're most afraid of becomes your own honest opinion of yourself, the other voices lose most of their power.
So what do we actually do? Because understanding the fear doesn't make it smaller.
Step 1, just name it. The next time you catch yourself changing an answer because the room shifted, or not sending something you rewrote 12 times, just say internally, there it is, the camera turned on. Naming it separates you from it slightly. It stops being you and starts being a pattern you have.
Step 2, small exposure. Exposure means putting yourself in the uncomfortable situation in small steps so the brain slowly learns it's safe. It doesn't look like a TED Talk. It looks like leaving the comment you almost deleted, saying the opinion even when your voice shakes, asking for the right coffee.
And the first time it feels enormous, but then slightly smaller. And then one day you realize the camera is still there, but you stopped watching every frame.
If you're in a loud camera day right now, you're not doing it wrong. You're just human.
You will never turn the camera completely off, but you can decide to stop watching the footage every 5 minutes.
Let's slow down and do our word tour. Key words from today explained clearly and slowly. You can repeat with us or just listen.
Social approval. The need to be accepted and seen positively by the people around you. For example, he refreshed the page 5 times to check how many people liked his comment. Or, she changed her opinion the moment she felt the room go quiet. Repeat, social approval. Social approval. Slowly, social approval.
Self-censorship. When you silence yourself, not because someone told you to, but because you already imagined the reaction. For example, he wrote the message, deleted it, and never sent it. Or, she kept her best ideas quietly to herself for years. Repeat, self-censorship. Self-censorship. Slowly, self-cen-sur-ship. That one lives in my drafts folder.
Disproportionate. When the reaction is much bigger than the situation actually needs. For example, he spent 2 days worrying about one comment he made at lunch. Or, her fear of asking one question was completely disproportionate to the actual risk. Repeat, disproportionate. Disproportionate. Slowly, disproportionate.
The spotlight effect. The belief that other people notice us much more than they actually do. For example, I was certain everyone noticed my mistake. Nobody mentioned it. Classic spotlight effect. Or understanding this helps you relax. You're not as visible as you think. Repeat, the spotlight effect. The spotlight effect. Slowly, the spotlight effect.
And remember, you can always come back to this word tour and listen again. Each time, the words will feel more natural.
Validation seeking. Looking outside yourself for approval before you feel okay about your choices. For example, she sent the same email to 3 friends asking if it sounded okay before hitting send. Or he kept the comments every 10 minutes after posting. Repeat, validation seeking. Validation seeking. Slowly, validation seeking. I feel very personally attacked by both examples.
To minimize yourself, to make yourself smaller, your voice, your opinions, to avoid judgment. For example, she laughed along with the joke because correcting them felt too risky. Or he always added, "but maybe I'm wrong," to every strong opinion he had. Repeat, to minimize yourself. To minimize yourself. Slowly, to minimize yourself.
Exposure. Putting yourself in the uncomfortable situation in small steps so the fear slowly shrinks. For example, posting his first comment in English was a small exposure. The second was easier. Or every time she spoke in the meeting despite the fear got a little smaller. Repeat, exposure. Exposure. Slowly, exposure.
And if you want extra practice, replay this word tour and shadow with us. Say the words at the same time we do. It's one of the best ways to make pronunciation feel natural. You don't have to remember every word today. Even 2 or 3 that stayed with you is already real progress.
The fear of judgment is not something that disappears after one conversation. We know that.
But maybe today you named something you'd been carrying without a name, and that's already movement.
We are not here as people who have this figured out. Some days Andrew still drinks the wrong coffee. Some days I still hesitate before posting something I know is good. We're in this with you.
Remember that camera we talked about? It's still going to be there, but maybe tonight you don't have to watch every frame. Walk into the room anyway. Say the thing anyway.
Tonight, before you sleep, ask yourself, what is one thing I held back this week because I was afraid of being judged? Don't answer it to fix it, just to see it. Because when you see the cost of the fear clearly, you start to decide if it's worth paying.
And if this episode touched something, share it with one person who also has a very busy camera in their head. And if you're not subscribed yet, this is a good moment.
In the comments, write one honest sentence. The moment I feel most judged is blank. No judgment from us. We would love to read those.
The world has enough people performing. It needs more people who are just genuinely, imperfectly themselves. Every time you choose that, even in a small moment, it matters more than you think. This is Emma.
This is Andrew.
And you have been listening to the All in English podcast. Bye.